Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, Doom Productions. This is a very impromptu video that we were making. Last week we released a podcast, or I guess it was 2 weeks ago. No.
At the beginning of the month.
Yeah. Beginning of the month. We released a podcast where we talked about our 2023 year, and we had asked for some questions from our audience and followers on Twitter. We are terrible at planning, and we asked for those questions right before we started recording, so we only had one question. And since recording, we received a bunch of questions, and we thought we'd take this chance to just answer those questions so no one was left out.
Yeah.
So, our first question comes from Mr. Alex Clegg from Late Night 99, who just released Morana, which we should actually...
Yeah.
Well, before let's talk about Morana. Have you guys seen it yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I'm impressed at how flawlessly that whole thing has come together. It's pretty incredible.
It felt so cohesive throughout everything.
That was my main concern, was that because of how many directors, how is he going to make it fit all together? Mm-hmm. And he did. And I thought that was very cool. Props to you, Alex.
Yeah.
It was so clean. You would think we had a plan.
Yeah.
All going in. Yeah. By the way, our prediction of us being on like computer screens.
Yes.
Totally right.
We did it.
We did it. We frauded our way into this film.
We it was all a ruse, you see. No, I was shocked at the level of creativity and the diversity of the different perspectives of the types of movies that were being made.
Yeah, it was great.
I just and it all felt cohesive. That was the big thing. I was like, wow, I'm shocked. This all feels like one vision, which is really cool. And I can't wait to see more.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious. I mean, we know how it ends, but I'm curious how the movie ends. Like after episode 5. Yeah. Did you guys have any standout favorite sequences in the movie, or episode 1, I should say?
This is like really biased, but I'm really excited to see more of Nathan and Caleb's from RC Film's story, with their like church cult. That was funny. Pretty fun.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to see more of them.
That was a fun, especially after the mentor comes out, because that's the same crew member or the same cast members.
But a totally different environment.
Yeah,
like polar opposite.
Getting to see Ernesto's improv skills.
Yeah,
I'm assuming improv.
Yeah, I have to assume it was improv.
Yeah. Zach, did you have a favorite?
Oh gosh, I loved so much of it. A lot of the people I did not recognize, but I was like impressed just in general by the realness of the acting. I really appreciated it. It felt very human, just in general. I will say though, I was surprised by our stuff. Like I was like, man, I actually like really felt the stakes when like the first thing where it like cuts out and it's just us on the green screen. I was like, man, this actually feels like very high stakes.
This feels real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, this plays really well.
I can't say a particular favorite segment, but I'll say my favorite part was like the opening up until it says Morana.
Yes.
Like that whole, I thought the flow of it was really edited really nicely. I thought everything, nothing felt jarring or out of place. Because you go from this really weird experimental kind of thing from Gage. And I can't remember what comes next, but it goes kind of all over the place genre-wise, and it just has a really nice pace.
But it sets up each segment
really well.
And it does it,
So I was so impressed, and I was like very happy with how it turned out.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see more. All, I guess, impromptu Morana review.
Anyways, his question or whatever.
Alex's question. He asked 2 questions, but one was, tell us more about Coalescence.
It
was the first one.
That's a very good question. Well, that has been a movie for those who have not necessarily been up to date on all the very cryptic updates. That has been on quite a journey. It has probably been my biggest project yet, both in regards to the time I've spent on it, the amount of people involved, all that.
When did you start filming it?
I started filming, I want to say it was summer of 2022.
Okay.
Yes. And then, of course, it went through a few different rewrites due to scheduling conflicts and stuff like that. And so the story has changed multiple times. But I guess the gist of what I can say, while keeping things relatively vague, it is a teenager story, a coming of age story, that gets very kind of trippy and sci-fi-ish, I will say, with some horror elements. And yeah, that's all I will say at this point. It is still coming out. We've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to reshape the project so that it can come out, because it's been through quite a bit. But it is still coming.
It's also the most ambitious thing ever.
Yeah.
The scope is huge.
It is very large.
Yeah.
It's something that kind of recently, I don't want to say too much or anything. There's been somewhat of a slight breakthrough of sorts recently. So that's refueled kind of the fire. It's flamed the fire.
It is moving forward despite the hiatus that it's been on for about a year or so.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
Alex also asked thoughts on The Mentor, which we kind of talked about last time.
Yeah.
But I guess real quick, 2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up.
Oh yeah.
Very good. We're biased because our friends are in it, but yeah.
Go check it out. Don't miss the post-credits.
It's almost at 1,000 views.
Yes, we should say
it might be over at this point, but get more views. That movie is underrated as heck.
Yeah, everybody watch it if you haven't seen already, and stay through the very, very end, because there is a preview, a teaser, because by this point, actually, we're filming this at a weird place. There should have been an announcement for our movie, which is coming out, because we made the sequel to The Mentor. But if you want an actual little teaser with actual footage, go watch The Mentor. The very, very end. Go check out that little teaser.
Yeah, like the end of the credits.
It's at the very, very end of the credits. Like it's an actual post credits. Scene. So, anyways, related to The Mentor, Nathan Cash asked, "Will Doomed ever make an OnlyFans?"
I mean, we already have one.
It's called Patreon.
Yeah, it's our Patreon. We don't do a lot there right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Save your money because we don't really do anything on it anymore.
Yeah, it's...
At some point, we will update it, at which point we will update you.
Yeah, you'll know.
Exactly.
It's not anything exciting right now.
Yeah, so save your money, people. Ben Paul Robinson asks, "Curious to know your recent thoughts about YouTube as a platform for indie films, sustainability, viability, algorithms, that sort of thing."
That's a good question.
It's strange. I feel like when we kind of came on the scene in feature filmmaking in 2020, feature filmmaking on YouTube felt like a very different space than it does right now. There was kind of a snowball effect around the folk filmmaking movement and just kind of feature filmmaking as a whole. A lot of people, I think, who felt like islands kind of found each other, and so this community kind of sparked really quick. And there's a lot of great creativity, a lot of collaborations that came out of that. We got to be a part of that, meeting a lot of other filmmakers, and I know that's happened in other pockets of the community. But I feel like right now there's kind of been a recession. I don't know if that's not in the word of in the sense of no one's making anything, but I think we've kind of all gone back to where we were and have started kind of tinkering on our own, which I can only assume means there's going to be another wave of something coming.
Well, it definitely blew up this YouTube filmmaking space more, especially after Joel Haver blew up in I'd say 2022 was a pretty big year of growth, I think. Where hundreds if not thousands of people kind of started releasing stuff and making stuff, and in that I think there was more, I guess there was less prominent voices, which is not a bad thing, because it was really democratized, and there's a lot of people making stuff and doing the same thing, and it kind of felt like I mean, from our perspective, I don't mean this in a negative way or tooting our own home. It felt like we were at a party where it was like 5 to 10 people, but we really knew all of them. And then all of a sudden, 50 people showed up to the party. It's like, whoa, I don't know anybody. What's going on? And like introvert us, we kind of retreat to the corner and stayed in our own little corner.
Yeah.
And I feel like to an extent that's what other folks did.
Yeah.
Because there's this huge giant party and now everybody's in their own little... No one's kind of socializing as much.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And then Alex Clegg comes up and he's like, I got the beer. And everybody goes down. Because he's like, it's called Morana. Drink up.
Those Aussies are wild.
I know. But there's people still making stuff. We're still making stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the question, recent thoughts about as a platform for indie films.
It's just as viable.
I still love YouTube.
Oh,
yeah.
Sustainability, viability, algorithms, that sort of thing. I mean, that's a tough question.
I feel like it's different for everyone in the sense of, for some people, YouTube is the be-all, end-all. They want to make films. It may not be like their career, but they make films as their passion and their art.
Yeah.
And YouTube is such a great spot to get that stuff seen with the fewest amount of like hurdles to jump over for your audience to get to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For us, it's a hub and a stepping stone.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like for everyone, it's a little different. So
Yeah.
you get a different answer from anyone you ask.
It depends on what your goals are as a filmmaker, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely the main thing. Like, our thoughts on... It depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the film, like, what you want to get out of
Mm-hmm.
YouTube or filmmaking. Because for some people who just want to make stuff just to make stuff and share with their friends, that's awesome. I think YouTube's great for that. For other people who maybe want to get seen by lots of people and like get noticed by a studio and get into Hollywood, I would actually say YouTube is not what you should be. You should be on TikTok if you want to get noticed by brands and companies in Hollywood. Honestly, I think TikTok is the place to be.
Yeah.
At the very least for advertising your stuff, for sure.
Yeah, TikTok is... I mean, we're not really on TikTok. We have one, but we're not really active on it. But as individual... I mean, well, Ethan and I don't know about you.
I don't have one.
I mean, I love TikTok. I
great.
think it's so cool. I think it's very creative. I think it's teaching the next generation of filmmakers. And I think if you want to... It's that tricky thing we've talked about before with one of our buddies, because you don't want to go where the puck is. You want to go where the puck is going to be.
Right.
The puck is at TikTok, and it was already at YouTube, and it's going to be somewhere else. And where it is, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like YouTube is kind of like YouTube and TikTok are kind of staples of how people consume content.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. I don't know what else to add.
That's our non-professional opinion.
Yeah, we're not professional by any means. I can't read these questions on Instagram because they're not very appropriate, a lot of them. But Charlie, fellow filmmakers of ours, one of our favorite viewers, she asks, well, it's not a ask, it just says Wild Boys.
We just talked about Wild Boys.
Wild Boys.
Yeah.
Yes. More is coming. If you have seen number 3, The Lost Book of Bigfoot, it very much ends with things very open-ended as to where the Wild Boys will go next.
And that's why we've chosen to stop there.
I will say there is a vision of where we are going. We have been in the stage of outlining Wild Boys 4 for the past year or so. It hasn't been taking that long because it's super complex. It's just we've had other things that we've been doing as well.
We made a Mentor sequel.
Yeah.
In Yakima, we were busy.
But that is very much coming, and there will be more Wild Boys after that as well. And that is all I will say right now. But there is a vision, and you will get a lot more Wild Boys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And our last question is from Sam Beamish. Sam asks, will we see La Danza in 2024?
It's a great question, Sam.
No. You will not.
Just insert the Captain America meme. No, I don't think.
No,
I don't think
I don't think you will. Yeah, you will not see La Danza for a while, and I'm just gonna put it there. And it's a project that is constantly being worked on, and it is things are happening, and when it comes out, you'll kind of understand why it's been taking so long. But yeah, you're gonna have to wait a little bit, unfortunately. Thank you for being interested, but you're gonna wait. Just be patient.
Hold on to that interest.
Yeah, hold on to that interest.
It'll be worth it.
Yes.
It will be worth it. And yeah, that was all the questions we had. Is there anything else we want to talk about? I mean, it's been about a week or so, 2 weeks since we kind of seen the people last. Anything, any updates, any big things going on?
No.
Heard it here first. Nothing. Well, thank you everyone for watching. We are going to start uploading stuff more regularly, hopefully. We've been a little bit off the YouTube channel, the YouTube train, but we're going to get back at it. So stay tuned, hit subscribe, tell your friends about us, and if you got any time, check out some of our old movies we made. We make a lot of feature films. They're all free on our channel. Check them out. We'll see you on the next video.